On a chilly Friday night, the bass from the club's speakers thumped through the city's streets, drawing a crowd of stylish patrons eager to escape the mundane. A black man stood at the velvet ropes, his worn hoodie and faded jeans starkly contrasting with the glittering dresses and tailored suits. He shifted uncomfortably as the bouncer, a burly man with a shaved head, eyed him up and down. "Sorry, buddy, this club's exclusive," the bouncer grunted, smirking. "Not your scene." The man's shoulders slumped slightly, but his eyes remained steady, scanning the crowd that had begun to take notice. A woman in a sequined dress whispered to her friend, giggling. Another man, a preppy type with a smirk plastered across his face, pulled out his phone to snap a picture. "You can't be serious," the man finally said, his voice calm but firm. "Oh, I'm serious," the bouncer replied, crossing his arms. "Maybe try somewhere less upscale." The small crowd of onlookers erupted into quiet chuckles, and the man's jaw tightened. He stepped back, exhaling deeply, his hands shoved into his pockets. Just then, a sleek black limousine pulled up to the curb. The onlookers fell silent as the driver stepped out and opened the back door. Out stepped a woman dressed in a sharp black pantsuit. Her presence was commanding, her movements deliberate. She adjusted her glasses, her gaze sweeping across the scene before landing on the man in the hoodie. "Mr. Daniels," she said crisply, her voice slicing through the tension. "I've been looking for you." The murmurs began immediately. The bouncer's confidence faltered, his brow furrowing. "Mr. Daniels?" he repeated, confused. The man in the hoodie smirked now, his earlier discomfort replaced by a quiet confidence. "Yes, Ms. Carter." "I hope everything is ready?" "Of course," she replied, motioning toward the limousine. "We should head inside." "What's going on here?" the bouncer demanded, stepping forward. Ms. Carter arched an eyebrow. "You just turned away your new boss," she said sharply. "Mr. Daniels is the club's majority owner. Effective as of last week." The color drained from the bouncer's face. The crowd gasped, whispers spreading like wildfire. The man in the hoodie, Mr. Daniels, adjusted his sleeves, revealing a luxury watch that gleamed under the streetlights. But the bouncer stammered, his bravado evaporating. "I didn't." "You didn't," Daniels interrupted. His tone was calm, but his words carried weight. "You saw what you wanted to see. Assumed what you wanted to assume." As the bouncer sputtered apologies, Daniels stepped closer. "Tonight's the grand reopening, and I wanted to see how things were running. You've given me some valuable insight." Ms. Carter handed Daniels a tablet, her voice professional yet biting. "Shall I proceed with the changes you mentioned?" Daniels looked at the bouncer, then the crowd, his expression unreadable. "Yes," he said after a moment. "Start with the hiring policies." The limo door closed behind them as they stepped inside, leaving the stunned crowd in their wake. But the story didn't end there. Inside the club, whispers of Daniel's rise were already circulating. Once homeless and overlooked, he had built an empire quietly, funding it through secrets no one dared imagine. What were those secrets? And why had Daniels chosen this moment to step into the spotlight? As the night unfolded, patrons would discover that the man they mocked was not just rich, he was powerful, calculated, and carrying a past that could unravel anyone who dared cross him. But as Daniel sipped his drink in the VIP lounge, his eyes flickering with something darker, one question lingered: why was he here tonight? The answer, they would learn, was far more shocking than they could have ever anticipated.